week 7 of the fantasy football season, and here's a few wide receivers. I have his sleepers this week. The first guy, Wan'Dale Robinson of the New York Giants. So Wan'Dale Robinson, when he plays, he's a pretty talented wide receiver and a guy who could work the underneath. He has sleeper option available still in tons of fantasy leagues at 77%. So the last few games for Robinson: week 4 versus Seattle, 5 catches, 40 yards. Week 5 versus Miami, 5 catches, 18 yards. And week 6 at Buffalo, best game of the season for him, 8 catches, 62 yards. So him and Tyrod Taylor were on the same page. Robinson, he runs a lot of slants, a lot of quick drags, and a lot of intermediate underneath routes here. And this New York Giant team, their offense actually flowed a little bit better at a tough Buffalo Bill team with Robinson in the lineup and making plays. So this week, good matchup, like I said, versus the Commanders that give up the 6th most fantasy points to wide receivers on the season. And right now, if you're in a pinch with a lot of bye weeks and injuries, Robinson's a sleeper option this week. The next receiver is Kendrick Bourne of the New England Patriots. So Kendrick Bourne, he's had a couple pop games here and there this season, and he's coming off of one at week 6 game at the Vegas Raiders. Right now, available in 80% of fantasy leagues. Here is Kendrick Bourne. So the last few games, week 4 at Dallas, 2 catches, 36 yards. Week 5 versus New Orleans, 2 catches, 43 yards. And then last week, like I mentioned, that's the game of Vegas, 10 catches, 89 yards in that one on 11 targets. So right here, another ball game in week 7. It's going to be versus the Bills. We're going to be trailing early and often, and they're going to have no choice but to throw the football a whole lot once again is this Patriot team. Right now, it looks like Mac Jones is going to continue to be the starter, but it wouldn't be surprising if Will Grier or Bailey Zappi take over the job sooner than later. So right now, after coming off a big ball game, I'm not expecting, obviously, huge numbers once again from Kendrick Bourne, but is a decent sleeper option in deeper leagues or just a flex option in basic leagues, possibly with bye weeks. He's a sleeper this week, and the third and final wide receiver I have is a sleeper. He is Darnell Mooney of the Chicago Bears. So I don't know what Tyson Beckett's going to do in this game for this Bear team, but Darnell Mooney, he pretty much has been non-existent this season in fantasy football with only 31.20 fantasy points in PPR leagues this season. So the last couple games, not much out of Darnell Mooney. But this week, it'll be more of a traditional offense, I believe, where they're going to run heavy early downs and then try to stretch the field and try to work play action as well as the Chicago Bear team versus the Vegas Raiders. So right now, Darnell Mooney, we've seen flashes from him in the past. But like I said, this season with Justin Fields, and even last year, he didn't do much with Justin Fields, is Darnell Mooney. But right now, we're more of a traditional quarterback in the pocket type of passer and someone who's going to want to work play action and work down the field. I think Mooney could benefit in this one, and he's available right now in 82% of fantasy leagues. That's a few wide receivers. I have his sleepers here for week 7 of the fantasy football season.